Okay, keep going.
So I try to help them see that neither one of them are the problem,
Okay,
or
okay,
the
this is
spender.
different.
The
This is different.
spender is not necessarily the problem, but you do have to come together. If you want to be in a relationship, you have to come together and collaborate on those things. To come together and decide, okay, these are the things we need to do with our finances.
Okay,
And we'll
okay.
talk a little bit more about that a little bit later about different accounts.
So part of what I hear you saying is don't finger point at each other back to we're on the same team. So if one person's a saver, the saver brings stability,
Yes.
which is good.
It's good.
If one person's a spender, the spender brings spontaneity,
Yeah.
which is good.
It is good.
Which is good, right?
Mhm.
So don't finger point. The whole point about this team concept is to learn how to work together.
A balance.
Okay, a
That's
balance.
the word, a balance. Absolutely.
So together, we want to talk about how you can learn to set boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
create shared goals,
That's right. That's what we need to do. We have to do that.
and find a rhythm that respects both perspectives. So it's not about you're right and I'm wrong, I'm right and you're wrong. It's about how do we work together as a team.
As a team.
See what I'm
Absolutely.
doing with the whole team thing here?
Right. Team is very important.
Okay, so what do we want to start? We're going to talk about secret debt and financial shame.
Well, sometimes I'm going to say years ago when I was growing up, some of the older people would say, always put you a little money to the side
What does that even mean?
as a woman. And
Secret money?
secret money.
That's just stupid.
Well, I'm just telling you, that's kind of how the
So
thing
you've got money
was.
to the side? I'm not aware of that.
No, I didn't take that on.
But if you
because
did have money to the side,
that
like
would be
you told me
great.
right
You'd
now,
be
you had
excited.
like $300,000 to the side. I didn't know about. I wouldn't be mad.
You wouldn't be mad?
No, I wouldn't.
But no, sometimes,
Actually, maybe I would be mad. Why did I know about it? I don't know if I'd be mad or not. But go ahead.
But the main thing is that we definitely shouldn't be having, I guess, secret money to the side. I think that would take away the trust issue. That would be a trust issue between us, and we wouldn't necessarily want to do that.
Okay, so that's secret. Then you mentioned financial shame. What does that mean?
Well, let me say this. When you have not spent money correctly, you've let's just say you had a credit card and you just ran it all the way up and you feel bad about it. You knew, something happened in your life and you went out spending or whatever. So you do have a little shame behind why you have this particular debt.
Man, this is deep. One of the first learnings, let's go back to our story a little bit. Here's how we started out coming up with a plan and having conversations about money.
Yeah.
And here's the mistake I made. So I went off to this training that I mentioned, like it was a 2 or 3 day training, learning how to be, a certified financial coach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I come back from that training, you remember this?
I do.
I designed a budget to the penny. And we even started out with envelopes. We literally started on a cash system to help us become accountable, putting money in envelopes. Because here's the thing, when you're using cash and you've got money in envelopes, hey, and there's no more money in the envelope, like you got an envelope marked grocery,
right,
and there's no money in there, you don't go get any more groceries.
Absolutely.
Or whatever your envelopes are. But back to the story. So I gave Teresa this budget, and then a few weeks later, I said to you, Teresa, we sit down and came up with a budget, and you're not following it. Why? You know what you said?
I do.
You said, hey, no, we didn't sit down and come up with a budget. You came up with a budget and gave it to me.
Exactly.
And until you said that, I didn't realize that was a huge error I'd made. I had developed a plan in a silo, gave it to my wife, like, here's our plan, that was really my plan. And then I was shocked that you weren't following it. Hey, I had a lot to learn.
Yes, you did. Because, how are we going to be a team and you over to the side doing your own play?
So what I learned from that was, okay, let's start over.
Okay.
Teresa, you're right. Let's start over. Let's come up with a plan together. Because I don't know if you thought my plan was too rigid, did you?
I thought it was a little rigid, yes.
You thought...
You put me in a box.
Because I tend to track, I would spend hours sometimes reconciling bank statements that were 2 cents off.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys even know kind of the whole idea. I don't know if people reconcile bank statements anymore. but if my balance didn't match, or if the bank balance didn't match my balance and it was a 2 cent off, I'd find it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've done that too.
I have called the bank and found an error. Jim, it's only 2 cents. That's not the point. You see what I'm saying, Teresa?
I do.
It's a bigger thing.
Okay.